So this is the window. Basically, this is a window. This morning, I already demonstrate to you how to view this window lah. Basically, you will see exactly the same thing when you go to exam hall. I believe that you can register for CBE. You can only register for CBE. There's no paper-based anymore. So computer-based exam. I'm not so sure whether you can register for on-demand. Sorry, not on-demand. Sorry. I'm not too sure whether you can register for remote session. Remote session was available when we have COVID-19. But now I'm not too sure. But anyway, let's assume that you have CBE. It means you go to the exam hall, but you use computer to actually answer your questions, right? So that is what this is what you will see. So basically, there's a present information here, but you already process it. You already process it, but there's no annotation. There's no annotation, just for you to recall some important information only, right? Okay, fine, never mind. My sequence is I will read here first. Because actually the paper-based exam last time very long time ago, when we have paper-based exam, the arrangement is introduction, then the list of exhibits, right? They will have introduction of the company, and then after that followed by a list of exhibit, after that followed by the task, and then after that only we have exhibits. That is the arrangement. I try to open one sample for you. Hold on. Let's see this. Question. H. Now this is a sample, Now you see the paper is like this one. You have overview. After that, they list down all the exhibit for you. After that, they will have the tasks, right? All the tasks, all that you need to answer. And then only they will have exhibit. I think this is the best sequence. To me, this is the best sequence because if you think about it, you need to understand what the company is all about first. And then you need to know what information is given to you first. Then when you read the task, you will understand what you need to do, and perhaps you can link back to which exhibit that will give you the information to answer the task, right? Then after that, you will read the exhibits to extract the point to answer the question. This is the most efficient way of reading, right? The paper, right? So when this so-called 4-hour paper, right? So when this 4-hour paper was transferred to CBE, when it was transferred to CBE, it is no longer arranged in this way. It is arranged in something like this. I also advise students to do the same. You read the overview first, then you read the list of exhibit, then after that you read all the tasks, then only you go and read one by one exhibit. Because to me, that's the most efficient way of reading. When you have such a long questions, you will try to minimize the times that you need to read in order to minimize, the total time, in order to maximize the time that you can use to answer the question. So we need to know what the task want us to do first. Then only we know what information we need to get in order to answer to the task. So that's the most efficient way, right? So having said that, present information you already read. So basically it means the overview, the background part, although it's much longer, but you already read it. So now you will read this part. After that, you will start to read the task. After that, you will start to read the exhibits. Now, between the task and exhibit, I have two options for you. Later, I'll talk about it. So let's read this part first. Read this part first. Right, so after you have read the present material, I strongly suggest you, before you go to exam hall, read again. I mean, not to say read lah, just glance through again the present, so that you will know what are the information, you will recall what are the important information about the company. So you are better prepared to the exam hall, right? Okay, this case study relates to 3 tasks. All the while is 3 tasks already now. You have 3 questions already. For SBL, it's already fixed to have 3 questions, right? Corjetz is a low-cost regional airline business based in Holland. This is the information that you also know from your pre-seen information, right? It's in line with your pre-seen information. You are a senior. This is your role. Do you see that in pre-seen material, you do not know who you are? You do not know at all who you are. So you have no way that you can spot question except for the, small topics, small here and there that you know what topic is included in your pre-seen material only lah. So you're senior business analyst now working in the finance department of Corjetz, reporting directly to the chief finance officer. So this is your boss. CFO is your boss. Your role is senior business analyst. Senior. You are also often asked to carry out tasks for other board members and senior managers. Okay. So it looks like your position is quite high. It is currently September 2023. If you are given the timeline, if you are given currently what is the date and time, please take note on this because it may affect the answer that you can use. Sorry, not answer. It may affect the information that you can use as your answer. Okay, right. So, the following exhibits available on the left-hand side of the screen provide information relevant to the case study. The first one, business magazine article. A business magazine article featuring an interview with Corjetz CEO. So this information number one, in exhibit number one, is about the interview with CEO. I always encourage students to read through the list of exhibit. Don't just glance through. Why is that so? Because if you understand what is inside that exhibit, you will know which task is related to which exhibit. And this makes a lot of difference for you. This actually brings some efficiency to you. So you have to spend some time to read through the exhibit. Okay. So until here, the article is talking about, the article is reporting the interview with the CEO. So interview with the CEO, she discussed about what? She discussed her approach to leadership and the role of board member. So you see clearer picture. The interview is talking about leadership. Okay, so maybe they want to test you the topic of leadership, right? And the role of board member. So governance topic. Probably governance topic, right? Okay, now this kind of exhibit is very good. It's very good. It tells you very detailed what is all about the article. Now, last time, this one is still good. This one is still good. Let me show you another one. Last time, right? They don't tell you much, right? No, they just tell you it is what. They tell you it is an interview. What is about? What is all about the interview? Don't know. You have to read the exhibit, then only you will know. Let's see this one. Did they tell you a lot of things? Something like this, is it? Press release. Okay. Forecast revenue and cost. This one is still good. This one is still good. This one is still good. But it's much shorter if you see this compared to this one. Correct? It's much shorter, right? So sometimes you don't get an idea. Now, interview with Burton Beher. You don't get an idea on what is the interview all about. You have to read the exhibit, then only you will know what is the interview all about. Okay? Show you another one. Last time is like this. Now, much better. Okay. You see this one? An article from the Noria Headrow. What's that? What is that all about? Reason Smartware board meeting discussion. Discuss what? Executive summary of internal audit report. Okay, this one's still okay. It makes some sense. It's about internal audit report. Maybe there are some findings. Still makes some sense. But you see, all these, you do not know what is that one. So last time was like this. Last time was like this. Okay, so now much longer, you know exactly this exhibit is talking about leadership and also the governance side, right? The second one, outline investment proposal. Okay, when you see investment proposal, it's something related to money already. Figures. You will see some figures. So that is how they propose the investment. A document outlining a proposal put forward by the chief commercial officer for investment in AI. Oh, they want to invest in AI, flight simulation technology to develop pilot training. Okay, so they put in a proposal to propose to invest in this AI lah. That is the second one. Okay, right. So you will expect there are some figures that you will see, and not only the figures, you will also have some facts. You will also have some non-financial information that you will see maybe some rationale about why do they make this investment, why do they propose this investment, and then what is the consequence, maybe what is the benefit that this investment actually brings in, right? Okay, so we know that number two is about investment in AI. Number one is about interview, right? Interview. Number three, principal risk review. When you see risk, risk review, risk register, risk information, risk paper, and so on, right? They are going to ask you about risk management. Let me tell you. Okay. An email from Corjetz risk manager detailing the proposed update to Corjetz principal risk. What's the meaning of principal risk? What's the meaning of principal risk? Principal risk means important risk, I would say like this. Right? It means important risk. Okay, the major risk faced by this company called Corjetz. Okay, now Corjetz performance report. Oh, performance report means again figure. You will see figure. Headline financial result. There figure. KPIs. Remember in our pre-seen material we have KPIs. This is where you use it. Apparently, this is where you use it. And environmental and sustainability dashboard result for the year ended June 30th, 2023. Okay, so now it's September. So you already have your year ended result. It's the whole year result already. Your year ended is June. So now September, you already can do some evaluation on how you perform in the past 1 year already. Okay, so this is what you have. Number one is interview with CEO. We'll expect wordings, wordings, a lot of wordings. Number two is investment proposal. There will be some figures maybe. And then there will be some introduction about this AI thing. And then number three is about risk. Number four is about financial result. More figures. Okay. Right. So you have read this. You already gotten some important figures. Then now you are going to look at the task. Now, no matter how I advise students to start from the task, but there are some options for it. Because now the task, you only can see task number one here. You can only see task number two when you click next. Okay, then you will only see task number three when you click next again. Of course, you can navigate. You can go back to task number one, you can go to task number three anytime, right? But the issue is because you need to navigate to see all the tasks, you have two options. First, you can look at the task and see which exhibit related to the task. You read the exhibit first. You read the task, then you read the relevant exhibit. Then plan the answer for this first. After that, you go to task number two. You go and see which exhibit related to task number two, and then you plan for task number two. Then only you proceed to task number three. You can do so. Some students, they are still comfortable with, I read all the tasks first, especially those who have taken 4 hours paper to do the preparation. You are more used to read all the tasks, then only you read exhibit. So if this is the case, then of course you can read all the tasks first, no issue. You read all the tasks first, then only you read exhibit, no issue on that. Okay, but you have another option, I would say. And furthermore, ACCA actually say the linkage between exhibit and the task will be more obvious, will be more, you will be clearer. So if this is the case, we will expect when we read task number one, we will be able to link which exhibit that we can use to answer task number one. Let's try. Let's try in this method. So task number one. Now I want to print screen. Remember, I told you in this morning. The highlight all gone. Actually, I highlighted everything already, but the highlight all gone. So now I want to print screen. I have to remind myself that I need to print screen. Okay, right. When you read the task, you just read according to sequence. No issue. You read according to sequence. Take note on the marks given in each of the breakdown. Okay. So Corjetz CEO recently gave an interview. Okay. You can do highlighting for your information. You can do like this. This is your window, right? Then you highlight this one, you click highlight. I have a highlight one. Okay. Give an interview to a leading Colin Business Magazine. The CPO, Chief People Officer, is about to chair a staff representative committee meeting. Okay. And thinks it would be useful to communicate some of the key points of the CEO's interview to staff at this meeting. She has asked for your help in preparing for this meeting. Okay, read until here. Which exhibit do you think it is related to? It's talking about CEO interview. I think it's very, very obvious. Very obvious, right? So A part, probably you will read exhibit 1 to answer your A. And this highlight can remove. Just now testing one, this one. Can remove the highlight. Eh? Highlight. Eh? Eh? Can remove it? Yeah. Why cannot remove? I think bug. Should be able to remove last time when I this one when I don't know why. When I uh try on the 4-hour paper can remove one. But I don't know why now cannot remove. But never mind, it's okay. Never mind. Okay, fine. Right. So you have this interview, right? Okay, interview. Then it's very obvious related to task number 1, huh? Okay, so we will expect ourselves find some information here. Wow. Cannot remove. Okay, never mind. I can move to task number 2 and then I'll see a clean one. Okay, never mind. Right, so yeah. So what is wanted from you? A, prepare briefing notes. This is your format, right? Am I right? This is your format. Prepare briefing note for the CPO, or the Chief People Officer, which outline the problems in culture caused by the previous leadership style. Okay, you are supposed to outline the problems. Problems means what? Negative things. Negative things. Problems means negative things. You don't write positive one. You write the negative one in the previous leadership style. Okay, the problem in culture in the previous leadership style. What does it mean by that? It means previous leadership style bring what problem to the culture of the company. That's the meaning. Previous leadership style bring what problem to the culture of the company. Okay, previous leadership style bring what problem to the culture of the company. Okay, not yet end. You have the word end. A-N-D, I'm talking about A-N-D. You have the word and A-N-D. So you have two things to write. Not only the problem in culture for caused by the previous leadership style, but also the impact. Impact means consequence, right? Impact that the current style has had on the culture. Okay. Oh, very confusing. Sometimes it looks very confusing. Why? Previous, then some more current and so on. What is wanted? Actually, this question, right? If you break it down, you will understand. Actually, it's talking about previous leadership style have problem. Current leadership style is good. Actually, it's like this. If you see, actually, it's like this. So what they want you to do, they want you to highlight the problems of previous leadership style. How previous leadership style affect the culture of the company. Culture is another keyword. Culture. So when you write your answer, you're supposed to link the problem to culture. You're supposed to link the problem to culture. I believe you know what culture is because we have gone through in our syllabus. And then the next part you are supposed to write how the new style impact the culture again. So it means how the previous one bring problem and then how the new one impact the culture. Like this. Right? So two things that you have to write. Okay. Now speaking about culture, is there anything you think of related to culture? Is there any model you think of related to culture? You can write it down. Okay. Now you have two ways. One, you can write your answer planning in word processor if you would like to. Word processor is not only for you to answer. You can plan your answer in word processor. But some students, they want to segregate it. So they can use stretch pad. This one is meant for you to stretch. So this one is meant for you to do your answer planning. Okay. Now task number 1A. So you write down whatever you understand. You can write down whatever you understand about the question, format, briefing notes. Okay. Marks, total, 12 marks. 12 marks means what? minimum 6 points, because we will assume 1 point. It is ACCA actually already advised. It is quite safe to assume that 1 point you will have up to 2 marks. Now sometimes you will only get 1 mark, sometimes you will get 2 marks. Depends on how complete you write. How complete you write. Okay. So we try our best. I mean, of course, later when we write, or maybe next lesson when we write, right, I will try to guide you on how to write to get the 2 marks, right? But then the issue is, um the not the issue, but then the idea is 1 point, it can go up to 2 marks. I can go up to 2 marks, right? So that's what I want to tell you. Later I have to check whether I have taught you how to write the 2 marks answer in my Tuesday class. Cannot remember. I cannot remember. Because the Tuesday class, we actually have limited time. So I cannot really demo a lot of writing for you as well. Okay, never mind. Later I check. Okay, so we'll assume 6 points minimum. Minimum 6 points in order to pass the question. If let's say 6 points, valid point, but you only get 1 mark, you still can pass this question lah. Still can pass this question. Okay, so what is the content? What is needed to be written, right? So here you are supposed to write problem of previous leadership style. You don't want to write this also can. But some students, they used to write this so that they are clear about the content and they don't want to read the task again. So they write it here. Also kind of up to you. Your style, you have to go and find out your style. My style is I don't write this one. My style is I don't write this. Okay, but if you want, you can write down. So at least it reminds you on the culture. So it's the problem. Then the second part is impact of current leadership style on the culture. That's what you're supposed to write. So basically, if you have 12 marks, right, it's 6 and 6 also. Like you can safely say it's 6 and 6. 6 and 6 means 3 each. Some sort like this. Some sort like this. But if you have more points, right, you can always write, because if you have more points, you are supposed to write more. You're supposed to write more so that you can secure the maximum marks. Okay, right, like this. So what do you think about culture? Anything come to your mind when you think about culture? Example, you can recall this thing called cultural web. In order to write in terms of culture, maybe we can utilize this model called cultural web. Then you can immediately recall what is inside cultural web. Stories. Okay. What is inside cultural web? Stories, slogan, no, symbol, symbol. I mean, slogan is one of symbol. Then you have control system. You have organization structure. What else? You have power structure. And then you have routines and ritual. Now, if you cannot remember all. Let's say you remember only 4 out of 6, 4 out of 7. Actually, there's one more called paradigm, but I usually don't use that. So if you can only remember 4 out of 7, 4 out of 6, doesn't matter. You just write the 4. But at least you recall something. At least you recall something. Maybe later you need to use it. Maybe later you can use it. Who knows, right? Okay, you won't know, you won't know. So we just record and then we write whatever we have first. Okay, now so we can write the problems in terms of each of these aspects. So of course we have to read exhibit 1 to understand better. Then we can also write the impact of current culture in each of these aspects. This so-called model may help us to structure our answer. But it doesn't mean that definitely it's a must that you have to use the model. No. If you cannot think of this model, it's okay. You go on to write your answer. You go on to write your answer. Yeah, I have a question here. Routine, yes, correct. Thanks. Routine, okay, thanks. Right? So I hope you get what I mean. I hope you understand what I mean. All right, so later, you can also do like this. You can also do like this. like this. So later when you have points, you straight away right beside it. You do like this, right? When you have point, you can straight away right here, right? You have point, you can straight away right here. Also can up to you. Your style, your style. Okay, so you need to go and establish your style for this, Okay? Right. So that is A part. What is the professional skills to be tested? Commercial accountant skills. What does it mean by that? Because they want to see whether you have insights and understanding of the impact of leadership style on culture. So they want to know, they want to see how well can you link the leadership style to the culture of the company. They want to know about it. They want to know whether you have the knowledge, you have the um skills to observe how it impacts the how it impacts the culture, how the leadership style impact the culture. Okay, that is why they test you commercial accounting skills. Okay, they want to see whether you have the knowledge linking the leadership style to the culture of the company. Okay, right. B part. The CPO believes that many of the Corjetz staff are unaware of the roles and importance of the non-executive directors, NED. She has asked for your help in preparing a presentation for a meeting with the staff representative committee. Oh, NED. NED is who? What is NED? NED is part of the board member. Correct? So which exhibit we can see, maybe we have some information about this? Yeah, still number one. Still number one. I hope you agree. Right, still number one, that we can see some information. So it is quite sure task number one, we will look at exhibit number one to answer the question. Good. She has asked for your help in preparing a presentation for a meeting with the staff representative committee. B, prepare 2 presentation slides. This is your format. So when you prepare presentation slides means you have to use this one, slides. So they already prepared ready for you already. Slide 1, speaker note, slide 2, and slide 2, speaker note. Please look at it carefully. Right? Usually they will arrange slide 1 followed by the speaker notes first. Then only go to the next slides and followed by the speaker notes. Please look at it carefully. So this is your response option that you are supposed to use when you're asked to prepare slides. Then you might be asking me, hey, they asked us to prepare 2 presentation slides, so it means they will give us only 2 slides. I think so, but I'm not sure. So please bear in mind how many slides you have to take note. Right? You have to take note. Okay, so you're supposed to prepare 2 presentation slides and accompanying note for the CPO's meeting with the staff representative committee, which first explain the key roles of Corjetz NED. Roles of NED. Easy, right? Do you know roles of NEDs? What are the roles of NEDs? If you know, can write straight away in stretch pen already. Right? 1B. Okay, the first one, what you need to write? Roles of NED. Okay, so you have some point already, you can write down already. Example, provide independent viewpoint, right? And what else? Oversee, right? Oversee the strategy formations and challenge formation. Challenge the strategies if it is not in line with competition, right? And what else? Provides wider perspective, maybe that's their role, correct? Then ensure shareholders interest is taken care, am I right? That sort of things. So I roughly put 5 first. You see, you have number 1 and number 2, you have 12 marks. So each of them 6 marks. Okay, so I roughly put 5 first. You want to put 6 also can. I want to put 6 also can. Because this is explainer. I will expect 1 point will up to 1 mark only. I will expect so. I will expect so. So you want to put 6. If you want to put 1 more, independent, wider, and shareholders' interest taken care, overseas strategy formation, challenge the strategy, and so contribute to the decision making using own expertise. Maybe, right? Some sort like this. So I leave it to you. Some points you may feel overlap. This is how people. Thanks. Thanks for your answer. This is how people. This is how students actually will realize how they are supposed to write the answer, right? Okay. Right now. This is the role of entity. Role of entity. And we are not talking about the criteria to become NED. You have to take note. We are not talking about criteria to become NED. We are talking about as an NED, what you are supposed to do. Okay? All right, the second one, assess the importance to Corjetz of having a diverse board. Okay, importance. Importance means you are telling supporting point. You cannot tell something bad. You are telling supporting point. The question already give you the direction. You are supposed to tell supporting point. No other direction already. Right? What is diverse? What is diverse? What is diverse? Diverse means you have people from different background. Am I right? People from different areas of expertise. People with different character. Woman men then what else? Different races different nationality different qualification different experience that's what we call diverse, right? Diverse. Why is it important to have a diverse board? You may also have some points in your mind, right? Write down. Importance of diverse board. Write down. What are the points? Write down. This one I leave it to you. Can I leave it to you. Write down. Okay, write down some of the points over there. If you have points you want to share with your friends, can no problem. Just like your friend like this, can post in chat box, right? So we will learn, we learn from each other. That is how a study group works. Okay. So why is having a diverse board so important? This one I learned before, right? I learned before. So I leave it to you. Now, one thing I would like to tell you, I don't have answer for this. I don't have answer. For your information, I don't have answer. So I just answer as if I am a candidate. If I'm a candidate, when I see this question, how should I answer? This is what I discussed with you today. And I try to ask ACCS people, how can I get the answer? If any one of you have idea, how can you get the sample answer? Please let me know also. Right? I think should be under the self-marking. Later I try and see. Should be under the self-marking, we should be able to see the answer. But to be frank to you, whatever that I told you today, right? Whatever that I'm telling you now, right? I haven't, check the answer. So it's good. You learn something, and then you check the answer, you learn another thing. Okay. Right. So that is diverse board. Okay, I give you some point, maybe. Why is it important to have diverse board? Because you can have wider perspective, same and wider area of considerations, right? So of course you can make a better decision with thorough consideration. The decision already take into consideration every area already. Okay, right? So better decision making. Then of course, diverse board, they have different brain, right? Different types of brain. Promote innovation, right? And remember, this is one of the value of Corjetz, correct? Hey, Christine. See the value of the Corjetz, right? Sini innovation. So do they call this value? Call this value? Yes, correct, value. So Corjetz value. right? So the three I leave to you. Okay, promote innovation. You have more ideas. You have more, you have more ideas when you do brainstorm, you have more ideas and so on. And you have thorough consideration and so on. Now, of course, we have to link our answer to the case study. Yes, I am aware. We have to link our answer to the case study. I'm not saying that these are the final answer. I'm saying that when you have points that you can remember, you can write down first, but you don't need to force yourself to write 6 points. Like if you remember 3 points, it's okay, right? 3 points will do. Right? Don't spend too much time thinking, hey, what is that? What is that? No need. But if you have point in your mind, in your head, write down first. It will help you later, maybe. Okay. Now, when you have 2 slides and you have 1 and 2, most likely number 1 is one side. Number 2 is the second side. Most likely is like this. And we see this format quite some time already. When they ask you to prepare 2 presentation slides, they will usually give you 1 and 2. Okay, now professional skills marks are available for demonstrating communication skills. Usually when they ask you to do slides, they will test you communication skills because they want to see whether you know how you are supposed to write a slide and how you are supposed to write accompanying notes. Accompanying notes is the full answer that you have. I remember that. Accompanying notes is the full answer that you have, but the slides should be only short and sweet. It should be only your header. I remember that. It should be only your header. So they want to test you and see whether you know how to differentiate. There's some students, they write in the slides. Even they write in the slides, they also write very long things. Then it will give your examiner a very bad impression about your professionalism. Okay? Yeah, right. Okay, so that is the first task. Apparently, it looks like I can settle everything by looking at exhibit 1. Right? It looks like this. So let's look at exhibit 1. We straight away can look at exhibit 1 and see how are we supposed to plan our answer. But before that, I want to print screen first. I also encourage you to print screen first. Let's do the print screen first. If not, later whatever I like, missing again, I will cry, I tell you. Okay, okay. This one, messy a bit. So I want to turn to exhibit 2. Sorry, I want to turn to task number 2 to see the non-messy one. Correct. Okay, so just we happen to know this morning, if you join late, we happen to know that whatever that you highlight in task number 1, right, it will not appear in task number 2, so you have to take note. When you navigate to task number 2, whatever you highlight just now, you will not see it. But if you navigate back to task number 1, you will see it. So I don't know, why the system cannot cater. Maybe the system cannot cater. I'm not so sure. But this is the case. You have to take note. So don't be too panic. Don't be too panic and say, hey, why my highlight all missing? It's not missing. It's not missing. It's just that it is in your task 1. It's not in your task 2. That's it. Okay, right. So now we read the exhibit. Colon Business Review of August 20X3. Okay, after year end already. Airline focus. Interview with Magda Fix. Sorry, I don't know how to read. Always the name of the person in the case study is because of fiction. It's a fiction. It's fictitious. Should I say that? Fictitious. So I often have difficulties in pronouncing. Fictitious name. Fictitious name is fictitious. Yes. Fictitious means not real. Correct. The word I use is correct. Fictitious name. Okay. Now, CEO of Corjetz. Taking over from Eric Madsen as CEO of Corjetz was never going to be easy for Magda Fix. Although the brothers had built strong foundations for the success of Corjetz. Their entrepreneurial spirit and drive could not maintain their early success in customer and staff satisfaction. Okay, something is there already. Not that obvious yet, but it is trying to tell you that the previous so-called leader team I mean the previous leading team, right? They are having this entrepreneurial spirit and drive, but it does not match with customer and staff satisfaction. So it means they are doing something that the staff do not really like it, and they are doing something that the customer also do not really like it. So what is that all about? We'll read further and see whether we get to know about it. Okay. Although the customer complaints and staff turnover were at their highest level 10 years ago. Since joining, Matt has led Corjetz through a successful stock market listing, and customer satisfaction rating hit their highest level in 20x2. Yeah, correct. We see in preceding information. This one, right? But we say that punctuality is something that they have to work on, or else this one will not maintain, right? Okay. Right. What were your priorities when you took on the role of CEO? 10 years ago, Corjetz was hierarchical. Come, your point already. Your point is here already, you see? Your point is here. Hierarchical under where? Hierarchical is on the, where is my stretch pad? Yeah, correct. Hierarchical is, ini mah, organizational structure. The previous one, the previous one, what happened? Hierarchical. Hierarchical, what is the issue? What is the problem? Now, you cannot, one thing that you have to take note, the examiner keep on repeating this. You cannot summarize your exhibit. It means you don't take and then summarize for them. You must tell them what is the problem with that. We said that the previous, so-called leadership style has problem. So previous leadership style is hierarchical. So hierarchical, what is the problem? I get to tell this part. What's the problem? Okay. Now, there are two ways of answer planning. The first way is you just take the point, put it here. When you write, you have to expand further. But my way is the second way. I usually do like this. I put the point already, I straight away think about what's the problem. Hierarchical, what's the problem? Staff not able to see the leaders, or the leaders cannot talk to the staff. Right? So the leaders and the staff will have some misunderstanding, or maybe the expectation does not match, or maybe they will have communication gap. Sort of this, sort of this. So what's the problem? Communication gap, not understanding each other. Sort of this, sort of this. Okay, so that's what I recognize. That's what I recognize. So the top management only do work at their top management. They don't understand what happens among the employees. The employees also do not understand why the top management do a certain decision, because there's no communication. And further proven here, there was no connection between senior leaders and staff. So they never come to the ground and see how the staff works. So they don't understand. Let me tell you, they don't understand. And so the decision making can be very bad, because it can be very not practical. Decisions made will not be practical. Okay? Not practical. Right? I wanted staff to have autonomy to make decisions for area. This one is the new one. New one, New one, Autonomy to make decisions for area they expert in. Right? This is a new one. New one. Okay, new one. This one is the style, right? So is where? Organizational structure, yes, can you can put it here, or you can put power structure also can, because autonomy is talking about power structure. Or you want to put control system also can. Control system is like we value for the autonomy, right? We value the autonomy. It doesn't matter. I will put the same one. Current what issue? Sorry, not issue. What is the style? You have autonomy to make decision, right? So staff will have autonomy to make decision. What is the impact? Remember, we want to write impact. Remember, we want to write impact, right? Okay, what's the impact? So my style of answer planning is I straight already write inside. So when I type my answer, I just make it as a sentence. I don't think too much really. But another style that some other tutors actually taught, right, is just to pick the point. So when you write the answer, you need to write extended, area, right? You need to extend the answer when you write. Okay, but I'm more comfortable on this style. So you have to find out your own style. There's no right or wrong. Okay. Right. So what is the impact of this? Impact on this is better decision make because customer know, right? Because they are experts, huh? Because the one that make decision, they are experts, they know the best. So they make the best decision, right? And then improve satisfaction. Whether it is employee satisfaction or customer satisfaction, perhaps. All right, your employees are happy when they can make their decision to help the customer immediately, and your customer also will be happy when they are being uh when they are receiving the immediate response on the issue happening. Right, so improve satisfaction. That is the so-called impact, I would say. Okay, particularly in customer relationship management. So it means the customer will be satisfied as well. Okay, right. So we weren't making adequate use of the knowledge and talent that exists in the business, nor were we focusing on attracting and retaining high quality staff. So last time we don't really focus too much on the employees. Our customer service approach had failed to change with rapidly and evolving external environment. So we had to trust staff to lead us on how to manage customer relationship. Okay, can we pick something here? Let's have a look. We have story, we have symbol. Control system, power structure, routine, and rituals. We basically can pick this point in the sense that we don't focus too much on training our staff. We don't focus too much on our staff, right? You want to use this point also can, no issue. Okay, so this is more towards like the problem over there. All right, so I just write it down. Which one do you think it should be in? Which one? Although ACCA said they won't penalize you for the wrong header. So now it's practice. Which one do you think it should be in? A control system is about appraisal. It's about reward system. Can also can also. Power structure also somehow or rather can. Routine and reaches somehow or rather also can. Okay. Maybe I write here. Previous place less value in attracting and retaining staff. So what's the issue? The problem is staff are not well trained in adapting the customer service to the uh, changing demand of the customers. So the external environment, right? I think control system, power structure. Maybe put routine is better. But it doesn't matter again. ACC actually don't penalize on this, but I just want to make it um better because we are on practice. And so I try and see whether I can make it better. Okay, maybe routine. Not sure, not sure. Okay, but anyway, we have problem. We have problem. Okay, now what were the problem you have to overcome and how did you address them? Leadership was centralized. Last time, centralized leadership. This centralized leadership, you can put it as power structure. Okay, power structure. Focus on punishment rather than reward. This one is control system. Right? Okay. This one very obvious. and put it as control system. You have hey, actually you can copy and paste. I'm not so sure whether you know about it. This one, I want to copy. There's no copy button, but you can put control C. You try and see, control C. Then after that, usually I press a few times. I realized pressing a few times work. Then control V. Ada. But a bit odd. Can still can use. Right? Focus on punishment rather than reward. I think they space two times. Yeah, correct. Space two times. Hey, but the spacing not important. ACCA will not penalize you for the spacing. Okay, so here, this is the control system. What's the problem for this? What's the problem? Problem is it will actually, this punishment, you can remember this. This punishment always have one very significant problem. You will actually diminish the innovation of the employees because they are afraid of making mistake. They are afraid of making mistakes, so they do not want to give new idea. When I give new idea, later I make mistake, I kena punish. Right? So this is always the problem. It will actually cause your employees to better keep quiet and don't say anything. So this one not in line with project value. Right? Project value is innovation. Right? Innovation. Then what do we have for project value? We have staff. This one staff. Putting people first. Also not in line. Also not in line. This one we have this. Putting people first. This one also not in line. Yeah. Then we have power structure. Power structure we have this one centralized one. Centralized means what? All decision made by headquarters, right? So it means the so-called the what the centralized, it means top management will make all the decision. So it means the departments or lower level employees they are not given the power. That's why it's related to power structure, right? Leadership was centralized. What's the issue? Issue is no power to make immediate decision, right? So everything must consult the top management. Then you cannot flexibly adapt to the demand in a fast way, right? So not flexible enough to react. Should I call react to evolving environment? It means changing environment. Not fast enough to respond. Not fast and flexible enough to respond. That's the word. Respond to evolving environment. You have issue for that, right? Okay, I hope you get it. What I want to tell you is you are not doing summarizing. So you don't read the exhibit and then you summarize. Don't. We don't do this. But we have to answer to the question. So you have to always put your task in your mind. Task one cannot see. Now I use the clean version. Okay. So anyway, if you can see your task one, you have to always put your task in your mind. What you are supposed to do, what you are supposed to answer, right? Okay. Now we were losing talented staff who felt that their voice were not being heard and were afraid of making mistakes. It's an issue. Issue. Sure. Okay. Where can I put this? Can put here also. Routine and riches. Staff always not there to voice out and then always place much emphasis on not making mistakes. This is also one point. Hey, what is the problem for this? What's the problem? basically you will again, it relates to the idea. You will encourage staff to keep their ideas. So not able to get ideas from the employees to develop the business. Right. So that's the issue. So after that, what they do? After that, the new CEO do I introduce the monthly meet the board online chat where board members host an interactive chat. Oh, good. Interactive chat on the Corjetz intranet site to highlight the key initiative in the business. This was designed to encourage communication and motivation. This is you can put power structure if you want. You can put power structure. This is how they should it be power structure? Yeah. It means current one. Or you can put organizational structure also can. I think organizational structure also can. I think this one should be more organizational structure. This one should be more on power structure, autonomy to make decision. Right, more on power structure. Employee has autonomy to make decision. Okay, so current the board member um communicate directly with the what with the employees, right? Through interactive chat. So what is good about this? What is the impact? What's good about this? The impact is we can listen to the employees, get new idea, and also let the employees to understand us, right? Get ideas from employees and um, allow employees to understand, right? Understand strategic decisions. A lot of times when the top management make decision, we do not understand why they ever make such decision. We always have this question. I don't know whether you feel the same. Usually the lower level one is the one that apply the so-called policy, right? Practically, but when they set policy, they never consult you. That's the issue, right? Okay, I hope you have some idea already. After that, we are going to look at the points. We're going to look at the points, and then you can write it by yourself, right? We have set up staff representative committee. Good. Good. This one, staff representative committee. It can be a symbol. It can be a symbol. This symbol represent the top management very much emphasize or very much um, um, value, right? The feedback from the staff. It's a symbol, right? It's a symbol to represent how much the top management value the feedback from the staff. Okay, where staff are actively encouraged to share ideas. So you see, it represents how the top management value, how much value is placed on getting feedback, getting input from staff. That is a symbol. To me, it's a symbol. Right? Then training programs are constantly redesigned to ensure staff have the latest skills, right? So this one is related to just now we say, not really, placing value on retaining, attracting and retaining the staff. So this one you can put in also, right? Training programs. And this one can be a control system as well. Control system is the way you reward your employees, the way you want your employees to, perform as what you want. So as a part of control system, they actually give training programs. Oh, forgot to write the previous. They actually give training programs to the employees so that employees will be equipped with the latest skills, right? So this one can be the control system. Okay, I write here. I write the simple one. I can copy one ma. Okay, yeah. Right, some training program. Okay, and training program we have here. Current train your employees lah. So you will make them to have to have the skill set that you want them to apply, no? Huh? Right? Okay, and all right. I believe that empowered and engaged staff are the driver of customer service. I also believe so. I'm proud that as an organization, we encourage open and honest dialogue between staff and leader. This is a new so-called style, lor, huh? This one is almost the same as this one. What chat? Interactive chat. This one. So it's almost same. Corjetz has a dynamic culture which embrace change and innovation. We even ask our cabin crew to redesign their own uniform every 4 years. Uniform also is a symbol, I would say like this. Right, it's a symbol. Redesign their uniform. Okay, we hold a competition. Competition is also a symbol. Competition is also a symbol. Competition actually encourage the motivation and actually motivate your employees to, engage in the culture of the company. This one works one, this one works. And the most popular design is selected and professionally created. It is very popular with staff and fiercely competitive. Yes, it's a very interesting thing. So when I go to work also, I feel like, wow, I have something that I look forward to. So that is how you encourage your employees to work, so-called harder. I mean, not harder, like to work in a better way, right? Okay, so all this you can actually pick it up. I would say is a symbol redesign. I try to fuse these two together. I redesign uniforms through competition. Okay, right. So the impact, I leave it to you. I put the points here, right? Okay, good. A lot of things, right? Why is the board so important to Corjetz? Okay, the last part. Why is the board so important? Wait. I want to print screen first. Remember to print screen. Remember. Okay, let me print screen first. Important. This one very important. Okay, this one later. Right. We read the last part. Why is the board so important to Corjetz? Our non-executive directors NED play a vital role in the strategic success of the business, and diversity of the members is critical in such a dynamic business environment. Why is diversity important? Because environment dynamic ma. Use another color. Wait. This one is B part. More on B part. Correct. Agree or not? B part ma. So you go back to your planning. Planning, where is my planning? Planning here. Okay. Here. Okay, see B part. We said why is diverse sport important? Because we have dynamic business environment ma. Okay, we have dynamic business environment in airline. So we need to have various ideas. Having um plenty of innovative idea is important. So that's why we need to have diverse board with different ideas, you see. Okay, right? We are fully focused on ensuring our NEDs are fully independent to provide shareholders with the reassurance that our corporate governance is sound and robust. This one we just now include already. Ensure shareholders' interest is taken care, right? That's sorry. Okay, diversity also extends to our executive board members, all of whom come from a wide range of backgrounds and have a depth of experience. I'm also proud to be one of the growing member of female CEOs in Holland, and I will continue to promote diversity in Corjetz leadership. Okay, right? Nothing much lah, but then we do see something dynamic business environment, so that's why you need to have diverse board, right? Having a depth of experience will help in will help in uh how to say when you have experience, right? You have more ideas, more ways in dealing with the business problems, right? So again, it goes back to decision making and so on, right? Okay. Okay, so something like this. Something like this. So want to print screen first, print screen. Now, before I go to this one, before I go to the next question, I want to complete this question first. You see this question, 1B part, we just put in the points. So I want to show you how to link to airline. Okay. How to link to Corjetz and airline. Okay. Now let's see. Let's say roles of NED is to provide independent viewpoint. This one is correct. This one is correct. But why is it important in Corjetz to have independent viewpoint? You can say because Corjetz is a listed company. Corjetz, when it is a listed company, you need to fulfill the interest of wide range of stakeholders. So it needs to be independent. Not too suitable. Listed company, I think this one is more suitable on this one, wider perspective. Sorry, here. I think this one is more suitable. Independent viewpoint is just to take care of your shareholders. Independent viewpoint is important. You can still say it's listed. You have external shareholders. Then it's important to be independent to take care of their interests. Because you are listed, because the company is listed, they have external shareholders. So it's important to be independent to take care of the shareholders' interests. Not only the internal one, but the external one, right? Okay. How about the second one? Oversee the strategy formation. How to link to Corjetz and airline industry. How to link to Corjetz. Strategy formation is important in airline industry because we are going to face dynamic business environment, and also the principal risk is very significant. So the strategy must take into consideration the risk factors that are easily cannot say easily, that is very significant in nature, right? I would say like this. So this is how I would write. Oversee the strategy formation is because um ensure NED can ensure the strategies take into consideration different needs of stakeholders, as well as the principal risks. I think it's, I guess, correct. Principal risk affecting the airline industry, which may bring significant impact to project if it is not managed well, right? If the risks are not managed well. Right, so we need NED to be, to oversee how to form the strategies. If let's say, the strategy, taken into consideration all these, risks that will greatly affect the airline or greatly affect the company. Hey, that's how I link. That's how I link. Okay, I think the rest I will leave it to you. The rest I will leave it to you. I give you some idea. So the rest you can try and see, right? Including the importance of diverse board. Why is it important to have a diverse board? Maybe we try one more. A wider area of consideration. Diverse board will have different will have the members from different background, right? And also we have different and we also have different range of experience. And I leave the wide range of experience here. Wide range of experience, able to give opinions, all-rounded opinions, I would say. All-rounded opinions. Okay, so better decision making, in the sense that how diverse board will lead to better decision making, because the diverse board consists of people or members with wide range of experience, and so they are able to give opinions and the opinions come from every single consideration, every single areas. So the decision making will be better because you already give in, you already sorry, not give in, you already consider thoroughly every area that we are supposed to consider, right? So having said that, the first point I haven't done, members from different background and expertise will be able to raise concerns from different perspectives, and we will have different different um ideas different perspective that the board can consider when they make strategy. Diverse sport also, there's one things that you can talk about. The new point is diverse sport will ensure the interest of every stakeholder will be taken care. Because this diverse sport you can see that they come from different backgrounds, different races, different different gender and so on, right? They will have the consideration of their own, group of people. In the sense that some people they are stronger in people connection, maybe some people they are stronger in how to make profit, commercial. Some people they are stronger in how to take care of environment. Then you will ensure different stakeholder groups are taken care if you have a diverse board, because they come from different how to say different different groups like female groups, male groups. I mean, female and male consider like um um different area so that's why we need to include female, is because we want to improve the diversity right? So if you have a female members, if you have enough female members, they will make sure that um the female benefits are perhaps I'm giving an example. They'll make sure the female benefits are taken care. So maybe who knows, airline in future they also have female coach. Who knows? Right? Okay, so something like this. So ensure the interests of different stakeholder groups are taken care with a diverse one. With a diverse one. Okay, so this so this one I leave it to you already. I want to proceed to task 2 already, but let's take a quick break first. Let's take a break of maybe 5 minutes to 7 minutes before we move to task number 2. Okay, I think this one is quite a lot for you already. I will think quite a lot for you already. So take some time to digest first, then we'll come back. Okay, now this one I didn't write in task 1B. Because I'm very sorry, I actually forgot about it because I'm used to looking at the requirement already. So of course you can write, no issue. You can write this one is what? What is the format of task B? Format of task B, task 1B. Presentation slides. Okay, so we can write down presentation slides, right? Presentation slides. Then marks is 12, 6 points, and then the content is what I can write down rows of NABs, right? This one no need to write also can because we already written downstairs, right? Alamak, wrong one. Okay, should be here. Here, okay. Format, presentation slides, marks 6 points, content only right because we already written downstairs here. We just need to write here maybe 6 marks, right? Then after that here maybe 6 marks, another 6 marks. Okay, something like this, right? Okay. Okay, so that is task number 1. Task number 1 I tak highlight, tak print screen yet. I didn't print screen task number 1. Oh, ada. Sudah. Okay, can. Become trauma already, have to print screen. All right, so we'll take a break first. I will give you the QR code for the attendance. Maybe later. So we'll come back to look at task number 2. Now, when you come back, you can look at task number 2 first. Task number 2. Task number 2. Okay, you can look at task number 2 first. Here. Try your best to, understand what your question want you to do. Then see which exhibit you can read to actually support your idea first, right? Okay. Okay, right. Let's look at the task first. Let's look at the task first. I'll give you some time in going through the relevant exhibit. So let's look at the task first. Task number 2. The Chief Finance Officer, CEO, has asked you to assist him with two separate issues. Two separate issues. Okay. So maybe we'll need to look at two different exhibits. Two separate issues. Right. Firstly, he has received an outline proposal from the CCO for investment in AI, flight simulation technology. Okay, which exhibit? Which exhibit? It's one, exhibit number 2. Right. So we know that we have to read exhibit number 2 to answer this question. Okay. The CCO is keen to gain support from other board members to invest in this proposal as soon as possible, as he believes it to be critical in maintaining Corjetz competitive advantage. Okay, CCO is very keen. It looks like it's very keen. Fine. What do you need to do? First, format is report. Prepare a report for the CFO which assess the suitability, acceptability, and feasibility SAF. This one is SAF. Right? Access the SAF. Access means evaluate, right? Evaluate means you have to take care of both sides, both sides, good and bad things about the proposal to invest in AI flight simulation technology. Your answer should recommend, second part, you should recommend not only access, you should recommend with reasons. Okay, you have to support your recommendation with reasons, whether it should be undertaken as soon as possible, as suggested by the CCO. Actually, the keyword is what? As soon as possible. It is not asking you whether this AI is good to go. It's not asking you like this. You should recommend whether we should invest in AI. No, it's not about this. They want you to recommend whether it should be undertaken as soon as possible. That's the keyword. Whether you should rush to go on with this proposal. That is the keyword. Okay, it's totally different story. Think about it. You should invest in AI versus you should invest in AI as soon as possible. Tak sama, right? It's just like, okay, iPhone now is what, 15 already, is it? Okay, assuming it's 15. I do not know iPhone is until what. Okay, assuming it's 15 coming out. Let's say it's 15 coming out. I want to buy iPhone 15 versus I want to buy iPhone 15 as soon as possible. Different, different story. When you want to buy iPhone 15, you can buy maybe half 6 months later after it is published, so you can see how other people using it and so on. You can go and look at some review, then only go and buy. That's different story. As soon as possible means once it is released, you straight away go and buy. So it's totally different thing. So that is the keyword for this question. You should recommend whether you should go as soon as possible. It's not about you should recommend whether we need to invest in AI or not. No. Okay, different story. Now, professional skills marks are available for demonstrating skepticism skills. Now, whenever you have skepticism skills, it means you are going to question whatever is given to you. It means probably you will you will tell some points of not too supportive, but something to consider, something to ponder before we actually make the decision. Your point will be more on this direction. Whenever you have skepticism skills, your point will be more on this direction. In challenging the information presented and the views expressed by the CCO, um, in an objective and courteous manner, it means cannot be rude. Professionalism, remember. So you are supposed to challenge the information and the views of CCO. What is the view? What is the view? The view is go on as soon as possible. That's the view. That's the view. The view is we should undertake AI as soon as possible. That's the view. So you're supposed to challenge. It means you don't agree. Most likely, you are not going to agree on that. Right? Most likely, it's like this. Okay? Alright, so you can write in Scratchpad your planning. 1B, sorry, 2A, task 2A. Task 2A, you have your format. Format is Report, right? Report. Okay. Report means you need to have introduction and conclusion. Introduction and conclusion, right? Okay. Then you have format and you have what did I write? Marks, is it? How many marks? Oh, this one a lot. 16 marks. A lot. Then some students will ask, how do we differentiate? I mean, how do we segregate between assess and recommend? Now, assess and recommend, these two are at the same level. So when we say at the same level, usually you will divide half. But recommend itself will not give you a lot of points to write. Correct? Because you are supposed to recommend whether it should be undertaken as soon as possible only mah. So nothing much one actually. So I would rather say that maybe because you have SAF, right? SAF plus recommendation. So basically, you should have four things. You should have four things. It should be one thing, 4 marks. Suitability, 4 marks. Acceptability, 4 marks. Feasibility, 4 marks. Recommendation, 4 marks. Maybe it's like this. Make more sense to me. Okay, but doesn't matter. If let's say you cannot think of this during your exam, because sometimes the marks given can be quite weird. You are not able to forecast and you are not able to how to say to estimate how many marks to each part. Then you don't waste your time in doing so. You just need to make sure the ultimate purpose, the most important thing is to answer to the question. So you don't waste your time to judge, hey, this one how many marks are this one how many. If we have a guideline, it's good. But if we cannot figure out the guideline, doesn't matter. Right? Doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, so we have this. Hey, I have to write points and then professional skills. Sorry, I have to write the points for professional skills also. Because later we are going to calculate the time, right? Remember, time, huh? Okay, this one also 4 marks. Okay, this one is skepticism, right? You can write down skepticism. Skepticism to remind yourself that actually you need to question. You need to question. Okay, right. So you are supposed to write suitability. My style is I write like this: acceptability, so that I will write answer inside when I read my exhibit. Feasibility, and then we have recommendation. As soon as possible. That is the recommendation that we are supposed to make. Also, whether we go on with as soon as possible, right? Then that is 2A. Okay, 2B. Secondly, the CFO has received an email from the risk manager outlining the latest review of Corjetz principal risk. Which exhibit? Which exhibit? Number 3, very obvious. So we are going to read 2 exhibits to answer this question. He has asked the CFO for his input into the assessment of this risk before they are presented to the chair of the audit committee. Okay, they are going. This is going to be shown to the audit committee. The CFO has asked for your assistance. B, draft an email response. Right? Email. Okay, email. To email. Okay, report is format is right. Email response, which the CFO can send to the risk manager, which first discuss the dynamic nature of principal risk. Dynamic is a keyword. Dynamic nature. Dynamic means what? Dynamic means keep changing. Am I right? Dynamic is keep changing. So discuss the dynamic nature of principal risk. It means you are supposed to discuss whether the principal risk has dynamic nature. Most likely yes. But nowadays we always say dynamic. Most likely yes. Marks is both add together is 16 marks. Doesn't matter, marks is not important in this case. So professional skills marks is 4 marks. So what are you supposed to write? Number 1, how are the principal risk dynamic? You're supposed to write like this. Discuss the dynamic nature. So the principal risk that is being highlighted in the exhibits, how are they dynamic? How are they keep changing? That's the meaning. How are they keep changing? Okay, this one you have 6 marks. 6 marks means you don't write too long. But you have to tell how are they keep changing. Okay, then assess the potential consequence of each of these risks. This one more straightforward. Potential consequence. So you are supposed to tell the consequence of the risk. So 10 marks. Okay, fine. 10 marks, you need to have at least 5 points. So that's the meaning. So consequence. Consequence of the risk. Okay. Right. Okay, so professional skills marks are available for demonstrating evaluation skills in using professional judgment in assessing the dynamic nature and consequence of the principal risk highlighted by the risk manager. When they say evaluation skills, what does it mean? Evaluation skills means you are supposed to tell the consequence. You are supposed to foresee how would this thing affect the company. You're supposed to foresee. That is how they test for your evaluation skills. Okay, you're supposed to foresee. So it means when you answer 2B question, right, you are supposed to do more on foreseeing, more action, more the answer should be more towards the direction of foreseeing rather than surrounding whatever happening now only. You're supposed to foresee what will happen in the future. Okay, so that's task number 2. Print screen. Let's print screen. Let's print screen. Okay. Okay, good. I cannot close. Oh, cannot big. Cannot put it smaller already. Lemak. Can I close? All right, so here, this is your answer planning. Okay, before we read the exhibits, I would like to just record what is SAM. Suitability means in line with strategy. Right, in line with strategy. Remember the strategy, the generic strategy that Corjetz has is low cost. Yeah. Low cost, cost efficiency. Sorry, not only low cost, they want to achieve cost efficiency. They want to go for innovation, right? Correct. They want to go for technology. They want to go for also sustainability. They are so-called value that they want to pursue, right? So whether this AI is suitable to this or not. Then acceptability, it means can be accepted by by stakeholders or not. So when we say stakeholders, in this case, Corjetz case study, what is important? Who are the important stakeholders? Shareholders, customers, am I right? Customers, employees, right? Shareholders, customer, employees. I think these are the 3 most important group of stakeholders that Corjetz has to take care. Then when we talk about feasibility, feasibility means can do or not, got resources or not. Do you have resources? Are the resources sustainable? Is it green resources? Right? Do you have finance? Do you have money? Right? That's what we call. Do you have people expertise? That's what we call resources. That's what we call feasibility. Okay, so these 3 are totally different things. Sometimes students will be confused. It's not that, I mean, of course, you write in the wrong header, it doesn't matter. But you need to know what is covered under SAM. Or whether it's wrong header or no header also, it doesn't matter, but you have to address all the 3 in order to get the maximum marks. Okay? Right. So I want to leave it to you. I want you to read the exhibits 2 and exhibit 3. That long? I think not that long. To me, it's not that long. Okay, let's take a 10 minutes to read through and see whether you can write some of the points over there. Right, 10 minutes. 2:50, I will come back. Right. Okay, do you have some inputs? Whatever you highlight, remember to print screen. Okay. Remember to print screen, print screen. Okay, let's go through this. We'll go through this and after that we'll take a break. Right. So we need to do suitability, acceptability, and feasibility. And then we need to talk about the risk, right? Okay, so let's go to exhibit 2 first, activity 2. Okay. Right, exhibit 2 is about the proposal. To you have this AI proposal to invest in artificial intelligence flight simulation technology. Now, the first thing I see is significantly reduce cost of obtaining and maintaining pilot certificate. Now, when you significantly reduce cost, it is suitable because they have a low cost strategy, right? They have low cost. They have low cost strategy. So that's why if you significantly reduce the cost, it is in line with this strategy, right? Okay, I do it like this. Significantly reduce, so it is in line with low cost strategy. So it's suitable, it's suitable. Basically, is to achieve more cost efficiency. So okay, it's suitable, it's good. All right, that's the first thing I pick up. However, you see, initial investment cost is quite high. That is something that we can challenge because the AI stuff, you have to come up with the cost now, now. And then plus, you remember there's a volatility in fuel cost and also ground handling cost. So it may not be a good thing to actually, invest in this technology now, having given that the investment cost is so high. So I will write here, however, initial investment cost is high. Not okay. Financially, financially may be a burden, given that currently there's a volatility in fuel costs and ground handling costs. So the idea of achieving cost efficiency may be if let's say if they want to invest in this technology, there's a value of cost efficiency. Strategy may be affected. I personally think it's like this. Then you see they have saving. You see, yes, cost per pilot they have saving. Cost per pilot they save like 220K, and then cost per pilot for the updates they actually save 25K as well they actually save a lot, yes. But how long time you need to pay back is something that they have to consider. So I will write here. I will say that how long is needed to pay back is something to consider because it is a very huge cost, huge investment cost. Then if you ask me, can I calculate the payback period? I'm not so sure how because this is cost per pilot Then they didn't give me how many pilot, right? Then they give me this information training cost each year for this Corjetz pilot is currently over 140 million. And they say over 140 million. Maybe we can do some calculation. Hold on. No, not really able to do calculation because training cost, is it for initial training or is it for annual update? How much is the portion of initial training? How much is the portion of annual update? We have no idea. So to me, at my first glance, I don't think I can do any calculation. But what I can suggest is the initial cost is quite high. If they can actually pay back quite soon, then okay, right? So that's why how long is needed to pay back, I'm not so sure. It looks like annual training cost is quite high as well, right? So but they are not going to save the whole amount of 140 million so we are not able to calculate. To me I'm not able to calculate. So I would suggest that the initial cost is high, and given that now we have other costs which is very volatile, so cost efficiency is something that we have to take note of when we decide whether we want to go for this investment or not. Right, so that is how I'm going to suggest it. Okay, now key features of AI, I pick up this whereby uh training is costly and then training consume a lot of time. So this is something good. If we have AI, this is something good whereby mm, uh you can put it on suitability as well, but I think this one is not too strong point. Leave it. If you really have not enough point, you can use this. But potential issue is the one that shows you feasibility. Is it feasible or not? First, not so feasible because you have limited availability of instructor worldwide. So expertise wise, not really feasible, right? So that's the first one. No expertise to run the AI simulation technology, right? So you may, I mean, you may have a situation whereby you invest already, but you cannot use it, right? Second one, this is the common issue of AI. AI, right? It depends on the information you feed into AI in order to, make decision or in order to go on with, um, uh, uh, the suggestion that AI want to give you. Go on with the decision that AI make. But because of the dynamic nature, of airline industry, can AI actually capture all scenario or not? It's a great question. It's a great question. Given that airline industry is dynamic and rapidly evolve, so most likely you have to keep updating your AI to make the best um to make the best decisions, or else AI may give you a wrong decision, which may affect the safety, right? Because they are training a pilot. So and cabin crew. Okay, or else wrong decision may affect the safety of the passengers and cabin crew. So this is significant. To me, this is significant. So whether this AI is able to be trusted or not, that's something that is very, very questionable. Questionable. The third one, they say regulation. Regulation, it means regulation is moving more slowly than technology. So in terms of regulations, they still want pilot competency to be very, very strictly being regulated. So can AI actually be accepted by the regulators or not? That goes to acceptability, right? Mm, I copy this one. Extensive testing and certificates of pilot competency will be necessary. So can AI trained pilots be accepted by the regulators? Will the regulators actually issue the so-called certified um um title to the pilots or not? That's something because not too we are not too sure whether the regulators accept the training result of AI or not. Can regulators accept that, oh, this pilot being trained by AI? Oh, can one. AI will give proper and good training. That's the issue. Right? Most likely cannot lah. Hmm? But when we write this kind of questions, skepticism question, we try to question and not to say the certain answer. I try to question. Not too sure whether it will be accepted by the regulators. But we don't say regulators definitely cannot accept. We don't say like this. Right? Okay. Next one is stakeholders can accept or not, because stakeholder will need to be convinced on the quality and safety. right? So whether our passenger, uh, trust, the AI trained pilots or not, that's the issue, Mm, in terms of quality and safety, will passenger, if they don't trust, right, they will change another airline, they will not choose your airline to fly. That is very significant. Will affect the demand. Right. So we don't say that passenger don't trust. Passenger definitely will go to others. We don't say like this. Perhaps extensive research or extensive survey will need to be done. All right. But it's worth to consider. It's worth to consider whether our passenger actually can accept or not. All right. What do you think? If the airplane is fly by AI trained pilot, what do you think? Not AI as pilot, it's like the pilot is trained by AI. Will you fly actually? Um, to me, I won't. I don't think so. I think to a certain extent, right? AI somehow or rather is limited, depending on how much data we feed in, right? So if you do something harmless, like documents and so on, okay lah, you use AI, okay. But if you are talking about this safety one, I think I will not trust AI so far lah, until now. Okay. Right. Okay. So should we go? What do you think? What's your recommendation? Should we go as soon as possible? Most likely not. Huh? No. To me, no lah. Why? The most significant thing is we actually lack of resources to do so. Right? I think lack of resources to completely run the AI simulation so-called technology. Second is your stakeholder is not going to accept it, right? Acceptance of stakeholders is still known, very much unknown, and due to the nature of airline, which very much emphasize on safety, human training is still is still much needed and trusted. I would say like this, right? So maybe they should observe for I mean a period of time, and see how would the competitor this one, is there any problem after this competitor do and so on. They didn't say how long ago they actually do this, so maybe we can observe, right? Worth to observe the effectiveness of AI simulation. Okay, observe the competitor lor, Mm, right. And given that only one country actually invested, then the rest don't have. Actually, we have limited data, limited information to see whether it is workable or not, right? So that is what I think. I think definitely is not to be as soon as possible, no. But is this AI a good project to invest? That one I will not have a certain answer. I think maybe it's a good project, but as soon as possible, definitely no. So that's 2A, we settled already. Almost, I think so. Should be there. Then how about 2B? 2B is exhibit number 3, right? Okay, exhibit number 3, let's have a look. Exhibit number 3, we have principal risk, 3 risks. Do you see that? 3 risks, okay, fine. 3 risks means you're going to, okay, you're going to write 6 marks for these 3 risks. Okay, no, so each of the risks maybe If you can, you give 2 points. If you cannot, just 1 point will be enough as well. Consequence, you need to focus more, right? Okay. According to the examiner report, this is badly done and this is well done. So I think the candidates understand the consequence better than dynamic. Consequence is better than dynamic. What do we mean by dynamic? A lot of students maybe cannot figure out. So I show you a few. Like the first one, the first risk is external attack on or failure of critical technology. This is the first risk. Okay, fine. So how is this risk dynamic? Actually, the answer is here. Why is this risk changing? Dynamic means changing. Why is this external attack? Why is this failure of critical technology changing? Because there is an increased sophistication of organized crime group. This is the answer. So that's why in the examiner report, the examiner said very disappointed because answer is there already. But because students do not understand what is dynamic, that's why they didn't pick it up. Right? So increasingly sophistication of organized crime group. So increasingly difficult to me, increasingly difficult to predict, attack. Yeah, correct. The cyber attack. Increasingly difficult to predict cyber attack and the relevant safeguards that the airline company need to take, right? Okay, it's talking about the company. Okay, increasingly difficult to predict the cyber attack and the relevant safeguards that Corjetz needs to undertake. Right, that's the first point. So that shows that it's dynamic, right? The risk is dynamic, keep changing. The second one is because the company relies on critical technology. That's why the failure seems to be important, right? It's very significantly impacting the company. Okay? Wait, bukan ni lah. Okay? Increasingly unacceptable if there is a failure of critical technology. Oh, okay. So customers' confidence will drop if such events happen. Okay? Right? So that shows that the risk is very dynamic in the sense that because they increasingly rely on technology, it means they rely more and more and more. So when you have more and more and more technology, it's getting more and more unacceptable if the technology cannot be used. Right? Because all the customers actually depend on it. So when your technology cannot be used, right, basically your customer will think that yeah, cannot use again. This one cannot harap one. It's something like this. Or just like AirAsia nowadays, getting more and more chance of delaying, then people actually say, oh, AirAsia is not trustable anymore, not reliable anymore. People always comment in this way, right? So it's very significant. To me, it's very significant. Okay, so two answer over there for the first risk. How about the second risk? Second risk you have risk. Okay. It's about the safety. Safety. Why is the safety so vulnerable nowadays? Why is the safety so dynamic? Because the customers' demand is dynamic nowadays. Okay. I pick this answer. You see this answer. Mm, customer concern. Customer concern and expectation continues to increase. So you see the keyword I try to pick is increase lah, become more lah. That one shows dynamic, you see. Dynamic is like changing keep changing very vulnerable So that actually shows dynamic to me is like this. So when your customer concern keep on increasing, continue to increase, then you will have more consideration in fulfilling what your customer want, right? Right. So when the concern is, more areas to consider, more consideration, more areas to consider, more aspects that you need to integrate, need to integrate various aspects in decision making. Right. So that shows the dynamic. That shows the dynamic nature of this, so-called risk, right? Task number 2 asks you to discuss. Okay. Okay. Right. Another one is climate change. This one I think I leave it to you. I think this one not that difficult as long as you understand what's the meaning of dynamic. Right? This one not that difficult. I leave it to you. You have 2 points. You have 2 points. Again, I pick that increasing. You see the keyword increasing. Weather pattern, storm and extreme temperature. Now you cannot predict already. So that's why your risk of climate change is very dynamic because you totally cannot predict. So you need to have more safeguards or you need to have more backup plan. If the weather go like this, then how are we supposed to do? What are the things that we are supposed to do? You need to have more backup plan, right? Policy and regulations increasingly affecting our business because policy and regulations nowadays, you have more aspects that covers more aspects of regulations that covers the airline industry. Not only about the safety and so on, it's also about the sustainability, right? It's also about greener technology. It's also about the regulations on the technology that you use, right? Last time we don't have all this technology, right? So you have a lot of aspects in policy and getting more and more that you need to consider. Okay, right. So the risk of non-compliance is getting higher now. And so you need to have more experts in helping the company, or you need to have a stronger internal control in helping the company to ensure the compliance to all these regulations, which is getting more and more now. Right, so these two, I leave it to you. Not difficult. I think if you manage to understand what is the meaning of dynamic, you should be able to discuss about it. But how about the consequence? Consequence is relatively easier. Students can visualize better. Now, consequence of the risk. So we're talking about same risk. This one, this one. So talk about one by one. External attack or failure of critical technology. What's the consequence? The consequence is data will be stolen, maybe, because they talk about data. Okay, confidentiality and integrity of data, right? They talk about data. Data will be stolen, customer information will be leaked, right? Okay, then lose the trust. Lost the trust of customer will not support you anymore, right? Then you have significant safety and security event. Okay, this one is talking about um this one is talking about the flight experience, whether it's safe or not. I think so. both in air and on the ground. So it's like flight safety incidents and so on. So these are the cause, but we are not talking about cause. We now talk about consequence. So if you have a lot of incidents, what I think of is, if let's say your safety have issue, then you will have, like for example, safety have issue means you didn't check your aircraft properly whether it is safe. You didn't check your fuel. You didn't check your engine, machines, and so on whether it is running properly. So you may have more incidents. What incidents they call this one? Flight safety incidents, health and safety incidents, and so on. Flight safety incident. You will have more incidents happen, right? Or the ones to say incident, accidents. More flight accident happening. Okay. When this is the case, right, what I think of is you will have more compensation you need to pay. You need to pay compensation to the victim's family, then you have issue of financial difficulties. Remember that this company, they are going for low cost. So when you need to spend a lot of money, that's where your low cost cannot achieve. Right. Okay, now for each of these risks, right, you may want to think of two consequences. So you can go and think for another one, right? I leave it to you. Why is that so? Because you have 10 marks. Or because you have 10 marks. So you have to give a few more, or a few marks, right? Okay, climate change and economic policy. Actually, eco policy and regulations is another point. This one another point. You can write separately. Climate change is one. Okay. This one also same. Can separate into 2 points. Okay, like this. Right. So how about climate change? Climate change is like you cannot predict the weather. So when you cannot predict the weather, what is the consequence? You were either not able to predict and then you have accident, or else you may have some, you may need to have more, backup plans, more backup. Hmm. So you may need to have more backup plans to safeguard the possible issues due to weather patterns. Probably, I'm thinking, I'm not so sure whether airline will do this or not. Probably if you cannot fly your airplane due to very bad weather, sort of like, for example, hurricanes and so on, then I think you may need to get your passenger to, be stationed somewhere. They may need to have some accommodation because maybe they can only fly the next day. So all this is your backup plan. You have to um know how to handle all this, how to handle the passengers, how to lead your passengers to the proper situation and so on, right? So you need to have more backup plans. Eco policy and regulations is talking about um the non-compliance of high possibility of non-compliance when you have more and more regulations, right? Mm. Before non-compliance, I want to say more regulations to. I don't want to say more regulations. If I say more regulations, it's the same as the first part. Now, what's the difference between first part and second part? First part is to talk about changing dynamic. The second part is more on consequence. So if this happens, then what will be the issue, right? So I would say like high possibility of non-compliance, needs to enhance internal control, or hire experts to ensure the compliance, or else you will be, you will have the penalties against the cost. Then how about failure of critical technology? Failure of critical technology will cause operations disruptions. Your customer cannot check in your customer cannot print the baggage tag and so on. Your operations will be disrupted. Operation disruption, then you need to spend time and effort to actually take care of all these things. You need human um effort in handling, right? The ad hoc, the sudden the sudden uh the sudden situation, and it will actually waste your time and effort, right? Okay, solve this. All right, so the rest I leave it to you. You make up the 10 marks. Okay, you may ask me how many points I need for 10 marks. Actually, you need 5 points only. If you look at task, you need to access, not explain. So access usually will up to 2 marks. So usually you will need 5 points only. But if you have more, you can write more, right? One very how to say very common answer is affect the reputation. In terms of consequence, affect the reputation. You can insert somewhere. I didn't write yet. You can insert somewhere. Okay, that is 2B. Yeah, 2A and 2B settled already. So I don't know whether this flow is okay for you or not. You read one task, then you read the exhibit, you settle first, then you go to another task. I'm not so sure this flow is okay for you. You need to judge it by yourself. If the flow is okay for you, then it's good. You found your way already. If not, then you need to try until you find your way, right? Okay, so next question is task 3. Wait. Let me check my print screen. See whether I print screen everything or not. You also check your print screen. See whether you print screen everything. Okay, fine. Task number 3. Task number 3, quickly have a look. Okay, I want you to try it because I don't want you to, just listen from me. You need to test yourself. How good are you in understanding the requirement? So 6 minutes, very quickly you go through 6 minutes. 3:30 we'll start to talk about probably exhibit 4, right? Probably you left one exhibit only. Okay, we'll talk about this. Okay. Right. We understand the task. We understand the task. I didn't ask you to read the exhibit, right? I asked you to read the task. Okay, fine. Right, let's have a look at the task. The board is about to review the result for the financial year. So they provide you with performance report and so on. So this is exhibit 4, very obvious. Exhibit 4. Now, the board has asked you, sorry, not board, CFO. The CFO has asked you to access the financial result, statistics, and key performance indicator. So why I highlight this? Because these 3 aspects is the one that you should include in your answer when you want to access the performance. It already lists down for you. Ask you to access the financial result, statistics, and also key performance indicator. Okay, right? So these 3 aspects you should cover in your answer. So it means you write here task 3A. Right, task 3A, you need to access the performance in terms of financial result, in terms of statistics, in terms of KPIs. Okay, KPIs, remember? Our Priscilla will help you already, like this. Okay, where is the KPI? Sini no, sini. Okay, our Priscilla will be helpful. Good. Okay, right. Then, okay, what the question actually asks you to do, prepare a report. Your format is report. Right here first, format is report. Okay, your marks is, a lot, 16 marks, a lot. You have to cover quite a number of points. You need to make sure your points is enough. And then you're supposed to access the performance of Corjetz in the latest financial year, explaining the potential reason for and implication of the result. When you see this, potential reason for and implication of the result. This one is talking about analysis. This one is asking you to do analysis. Analysis is the one that will ask that will ask you to talk about the reason. Why a certain performance is like this? Why the performance is in this way? That is analysis process. That is basically analysis. Okay. So this is how we do analysis. So whenever they ask you to do this, what explaining the reason and also tell the implication, it is referring to analysis. Okay, but there's a note for you. You are not required to comment on the result of table 2. So we don't touch the environmental and sustainability dashboard. Okay, remember that. So no surprise, your professional skills mask is about analysis skills. No surprise. Okay, fine. This is A. If you want to remind yourself, right, financial result, you're supposed to tell the reasons and also implications, right? Then again, for statistics, you're supposed to tell also these 2. Then for KPI, you're supposed to tell also these 2, right? You can write down first, so you can remind yourself. Okay, like this. All right. Okay, second question. The CFO is concerned that currently Corjetz does not have a clear structure for reporting on its environmental and sustainability audit activities. Okay, currently they don't have a clear structure to report environmental and sustainability audit activities. Okay, what does it mean by that? Why I highlight audit activities? Because to report on environmental and sustainability effort versus to report on environmental and sustainability audit activities are different. You report on your effort means what have you done, right? What have you done? What have the company done to ensure the sustainability, to take care of the environment? That is your action. But audit activity is what? Audit activities is someone come in, maybe your internal auditor, come in and audit and see whether your effort brings the result that you want or not. That's different thing. Audit and you report on only your effort is different thing. Now, when you have audit, right? Audit usually will provide a more, reliable, not to say reliable. Audit usually will make your stakeholders have more assurance on you really do something that is taking care of environment and also that is sustainable. You will give your stakeholders more assurance that you are doing something like this. Okay? So that is different. That's different. So this one I must let you know because a lot of students, they do not know how to differentiate. All right? Okay. So do not have a clear structure how to report the audit activities to its key stakeholders, although it has a dashboard. So CFO proposed that Corjetz should present the audit report each year, every year, yearly one, annually one. Okay. He has provided you with a copy of the most recent dashboard. Then what they ask you to prepare a briefing notes. Okay, your format is briefing notes. Format is briefing notes. Format briefing notes. Okay, then your marks is not many, 8 marks, only half of the previous one. So you should focus on 3A. Right? 3B is, it's not to say that you don't want to do, it's not to say you don't need to do, but not too focused on it. No need to be too focused on it. Okay. Right. So prepare briefing notes for the CEO, which outline the contents that Corjetz should report to its key stakeholders within an annual environmental and sustainability audit report. So it asks you to suggest what are the contents, right? Suggest the contents. Contents of audit, contents of reports of audit activities related to environmental and sustainability. Okay, I need to be very careful when I write this. It's because if this part I write wrongly, then my answer will be totally wrong. So you see how I write, content of reports of audit activity. It means now I have done my audit. I want to report what I have done. I want to report the outcome of the audit. Okay? If you write it wrongly, contents of audit report. Totally different thing. You see, this one. See, contents of reports of audit activities. I've done my audit. I want to report to my stakeholders. So what are the contents I should include in the report to stakeholders? But if you write contents of audit report, wait, different thing. Contents of audit report is auditor come and audit and give you the report. Totally different. And then versus content of environmental and sustainability report. Also different thing. The third one is now I want to report about environment and sustainability. What are the contents? So more towards your effort. It's more towards your effort. So it's totally different thing. Okay, so need to be careful. What you need to report. I need to be very, very careful. Okay, right. So that is task number 3. That's task number 3. So actually the content, somehow or rather we can think of some already. But it's okay. We can look at exhibit, then maybe we have a better idea. Right, I'll close this first. Close this. Then let's look at the exhibit. Okay, this is the exhibit. Okay, we have looked at it together. Now, there's one thing that I would like to teach you. Right? When you have this kind of figures type exhibit, what you can do, you can copy the whole thing. Wow. You can copy this one, and copy the whole thing, and then if you want to do calculation, you can paste in your spreadsheet. I already pasted yesterday. Okay, you can paste in your spreadsheet. Wait, let me see. I delete first. I copy more time. And copy the whole thing. Paste here. And then you can do your calculation. See what calculation you want to do. Movement. You can do this one minus this one. Is it positive movement or is it negative movement? Right? Drag down. Oh, So now you can see very clearly already. Revenue increase, cost also increase, fuel cost also increase, profit before tax reduce. Am I right? So whenever you have this, you also can calculate margin. Am I right? Margin, margin. Margin is profit before tax divided by revenue, right? This margin, right? This margin. Or no need to times 100. Just put this one. I think can. Okay, sweet. Okay, nice already. This one divide by this times one. Only times 100. This is just straight away you can put this. Okay, good. So now you know very well that this year margin is worse than last year. Correct? This year margin is worse than last year. Then if you want to say, hey, because fuel cost increase Now, your question give you fuel cost, there's a reason for that. There must be a reason for that, why they segregate fuel cost. Okay, so if this is the case, right, can I calculate the profit before the fuel cost? Then I see whether the margin is, is nicer. So maybe I can add one line. Cannot one. Cannot add one line. Oh, never mind, I write here. Profit. Cannot write one. Can write ma. Okay, can write. Profit. Profit before tax, before fuel cost, before tax and fuel cost. Okay. Right? Okay, this color lah. Okay, so this one add the fuel cost. Right? So this is the profit before the fuel cost. Okay. Okay. So how is the margin? Margin is this one. Divide by this. Go to this one. Okay, margin is out. It depends a lot. Because your fuel cost is very, very expensive. It looks like it depends a lot. Okay, so you can see that can I put it larger so that you can see? Oh, too large. Cannot. Okay, just like this. Wait. No. Hang. Okay, so if you can see, your fuel cost before tax and fuel cost, your margin is still slightly already. It's already slightly reduced already, right? So it means okay, it means before the increase of fuel cost, you already dropped slightly. So it means the cost itself is also something that this who Corjetz need to really control it. But fuel costs actually have a significant impact, a very significant impact, right? So that cause your margin to be worse. Now, how to do this? How to answer your question? Question, Mana? Question is here. Okay. How to answer your question? Your question said reasons and implication. So when we do this kind of when we do this kind of performance, analysis, right? We will look at line one by one. The first one is revenue. So you can comment. Okay, the first one, revenue, right? Very confusing. Wait. Revenue. Okay. Right, so you can comment about revenue. Revenue, what happened? Increase, increase. No need to say increase from where to where, because actually your shareholders, they know there is an increase. So you don't need to purposely tell them from where to where. You just say, oh, increase. You don't just bring it over. Just tell them, oh, increase. Why? Reason is why. So why is there an increase? So you have to give your reasons, right? So you can make use of information in your pre-scene, information in your earlier exhibit. So I think pre-scene have something. Wait, let's see. Pre-scene highlight is not here. Pre-scene highlight is another part. I think because of customer demand and so on, you can actually make use of all this information. I want to have a quick look on my receipt. Popular with airline customer. Okay. So airline customer like the low cost model whereby they can fly from one place directly to another place. Then driven by economic growth, right? So all this you can put it as your so-called reasons why there's an increase in revenue, right? Okay. Okay. Okay, I write first because actually we should have some other information later. I mean later at the back. Okay, am I write first. I just want to demo to you how to write the reason. So increase is because maybe the model of a direct flight put by the airline customer, right? That's one reason. And then uh and you may have more later you can add in. Then what else do we see? We see the cost, right? The cost is increasing. Fuel cost very much increase, right? You can comment about the margin, right? Margin, profit margin. Profit margin, I myself separate into two of before fuel cost and after fuel cost, right? After fuel cost. So before fuel cost, we have slight decrease, slight decrease. So you may want to, I think I don't need to separate reason and implication. It looks very confusing because implication and reason sometimes come together, come hand to hand. So I don't separate. But if you want to separate, no issue. You can go on. What I mean by that is I write this point and then you understand already. There's a slight decrease. There's a slight decrease already. So this Corjetz needs to take care of the cost control, right? Okay. Then after fuel costs significantly reduced, more significant. So fuel cost is due to the fuel cost volatility. Fuel cost volatility, right? This one you can see in pristine material whereby okay, pristine material whereby they say the fuel cost is actually very volatile, right? It's most volatile. Okay, and it's also subject to foreign exchange movement as well, right? In the last 5 years, it has been very volatile. So that give you a reason why your performance is in this way, right? So where is my touch? Okay, scratch pad. Okay, so due to the fuel cost, this is reason. Do you see? Then I straight away I can write implication already. What's the implication? It means the cost efficiency will be difficult to maintain, right? That's the implication, that is the meaning, that's the indication of this fuel cost increase. And so it makes the margin to drop very, very significantly. So you know, Corjetz will need to really look into this. Maybe alternative fuel, although it's still long way to go lah. It's still long way to go, but is there a possibility? Maybe we need to start looking into it, right? So we can talk about it in this way. So my writing style, you see, my reason and my implication can be together. So I don't separate. In the end, I decided not to separate. Okay. Now summary statistics. Yes, seat flown increase. Okay, seat flown increase. So more seat flow flying. So called more seat flying. Then you have passenger Passenger increase, okay, passenger increase more, more passenger. So more passenger can be a reason for your increased revenue as well, right? Okay, we can say that more passengers based on the statistic, right? Based on the statistics, you have more passenger. And that may be because model of direct flight is preferred by the customers, right? Number of routes operate, okay, also more. You can also put this as one of the reason. Number of routes is getting more. Of course, we will have more revenue. We will have more customer, right? Number of routes operated. Okay, right. Then you have revenue per passenger decreased slightly. Total cost per passenger increase. So we need to look into the cost control. So we can also add in here, before fuel cost slight decrease, uh, evidence by increase in total cost per passenger. So we need to look into what is the thing that make us to incur more cost. Okay, right, good. KPIs. KPIs, you have all these ASK, RASK. Okay, let's have a look. Available seat kilometer because you have more roads, so that's why you have more. Of course, this one I leave it to you. You can go and fill in by yourself. You don't want to divide in statistic KPI also can, but we have gone through the statistics, so somehow or rather we also include some a little bit here. All right, but you want to separate also can. You want to separate is the best, I would say. So you can tell your examiner very clearly, hey, I cover the three aspects that you mentioned. Okay, right? Then KPI, ASK, available seat kilometer is more. Yes, of course, because you have more roads, you have more roads now, right? So I think you have more airplane flying also lah. And then you have revenue per available seats. This one static. Is it static? Static, no change, right? Load factor reduce a bit. Reduce a bit. It means load factor, if you want to recall, you can go to your present, you can see. If I'm not mistaken, it's utilization. And let's see, utilization, right? So load factor is not to say very less, but slightly lesser check-ins by the passengers. Return on capital employed, reduced significantly. Why is that so? It's because of your profit before tax reduced significantly due to fuel costs, right? Due to fuel costs. Customer satisfaction reduce a bit. Don't forget that just now we said punctuality is an issue. See punctuality? Punctuality. Ayo, it's a big issue. To me, it's a big issue. You see the graph like this one. It's a big issue. Then you have staff turnover. How about staff turnover? Reduce, okay, fine, it's good. It's good sign, because I think maybe because they invest a lot in training the staff, getting the staff to speak, right? Getting the staff to voice out. I think that improve the satisfaction of the staff. And then you have CO2 per passenger. This one also good. This one also reduce. This is good, in line with the sustainability effort that is done by Corjetz. Right? It will actually improve the reputation and attract more customer in future. Okay, so when we look at the performance, this is what I'm trying to tell you. When we look at the performance, we look at line by line, then you will have a lot of things to write. We look at line by line, then you'll have a lot of things to write. You can make up the 60 marks. Okay, you can make up the 60 marks. All right, I have 6 minutes left. Last but not least, actually I start on 9:15. I actually can speak until 4:15, but then I know you are very tired already also. So let's wrap up. Okay, the second part goes. Okay, second part, mana? Second part is talking about contents of the report of audit activity. Okay, we want to suggest what are the contents, right? Okay, we look at the table 2 first. Table 2 is talking about dashboard. Dashboard, okay, fine. Dashboard, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 things that they actually report. Climate responsibility, carbon emission reduction, and waste elimination is the priority of the company. So they want to reduce the carbon emission, and also they want to reduce the waste. So this is how they measure it. Okay, safety and security. The priorities is security in terms of in-flight and airport security. So it means no people hijack the airplane, they want to make sure this is achieved. Then employee health and safety, okay, fine. So how they measure it? They measure incidents and accidents. Customer and supplier relationship, customer satisfaction, and ethical supply chain management is their priority. So they measure using customer complaints and suppliers issue. Fine. Employees relationship, they actually have employees engagement as the priority and training and development as the priority. So they measure using staff turnover and training days. Now, what are the contents that they probably can report to the stakeholders resulted from the audit activities? First, I think first, what is the targets of the measures that they want to achieve for the year? What is the targets of the measure for the year? It means it's not the actual achievement, it's the target that they want to achieve. What is the target? And you can also say it like this, you can also match it into the same point. Target of the measures versus the actual result. The actual measures for the year. Right? Target versus actual. Okay. And then you can also say, I can also report good things and bad things. It means strength. It means the areas that we have done well, or the areas that the company has done well, or the strength. Should I say strength? Areas done well, and areas to be improved. Right? Areas done well and areas to be improved. Recommendation to improve, or the future plan. Recommendation on the future plan to improve the performance. Right? That's my suggestion. This is what I think that can be included. Okay, if you think about an ordinary audit report, usually they will report what is the audit process? Yeah, correct. Correct. I put it number one now. What is the audit process? The process of auditing. How they audit these what environmental and sustainability aspects. How they audit. Based on what they audit. Okay. Then you report your result. Target versus actual. How is the result? Areas done well and areas to be improved. And then what are the recommendations on future plan in order to improve, right? So that next year audit, the result will be nicer, right? So a typical audit process is like this. You will usually report how the audit is done, including the scope of audit including the resources needed maybe the scope, the resources needed, and then who is doing this, done by who, right? So usually is internal auditors I suppose or the auditors with a special, special expertise in this area I suppose so. And also you can report also one thing, based on what guidelines based on what framework guidelines or framework based in auditing process. So when they audit when the so-called auditors audit these so-called environmental and sustainability aspects, right? Based on what kind of framework they do the audit. Also, it's a good input for our stakeholders to know about it. Then you can measure about the targets. You can compare the actual result with the targets and see where is the gap so-called where's the gap. And then areas done well by the company, what is the thing that they have done it and they have achieved, and then what are the areas that they need to improve further. Okay. All right. So I think this is what I can think of. This is what I can think of. So remember, this question is quite tricky in the sense that they try to tell you it's about audit. It's about audit content to report within audit report, right? So it means in terms of audit activity, what is the thing that we want to report to our stakeholders? All right. So based on this principle, I come out with this idea. Okay. All right. Now, if this is the first time you have come across SBL paper, if this is the first time, because in our Tuesday class, we look at a few questions only. It's only 3 hours. If this is the first time, this is how you need to put in your stamina. You may be shocked. It's normal. You may be shocked. Wow, a lot of things to take care. Wow, a lot of things to consider. A lot of things that I need to know. Yes, it's normal. You may be shocked. It's normal that you are shocked. Okay, but then this is how much how to say how much stamina you need to put in order to digest and answer your SBL question. So that's the reason why we keep on telling the students, you cannot without practice go straight away to the exam. You are not able to do it. You're not able to do it. You must practice one. And you need to time yourself when you practice. Of course, the first few times, after the first 2 times or 3 times, you don't time yourself. You get familiarized. You get yourself familiarized with the flow first, with the feeling first, right? After that, you need to time yourself because under the time environment and non-time environment, your pressure, your tension is totally different. All right. So if you are shocked and if this is your first time looking at the paper and if you are shocked, it's normal. But this is the level of stamina you need to put in answering SBL paper. Okay, right? So hopefully you can, go and digest and then do some preparation mentally when we come back in 2 weeks' time. When we come back in 2 weeks' time, it means I will see you on 11 for the Saturday class. But for the Tuesday class, we still go on. Tuesday class, we still go on. For the Saturday class, I will see you on the 11th. As per your pool, as per your voting, right? 4 of you prefer 4-hour paper to be discussed. Okay, I will discuss 4-hour paper. So I will leave one specimen one, 3 hours and 15 minutes paper for your practice. Either one is for your own practice. After that, on the 18th, we will have a mock exam. At 18th, we'll have a mock exam. I will share with you the present before you take the mock exam. And then the present, I will not discuss. You go and find out. You go and read the present material first. You do the mock exam first, then we will discuss about it. Right? And then on the 25th, we will only have half day to talk about the real present that you need to focus on when you go to the December exam. Okay, now let me know if you have any questions. If you don't have questions, I think you need to take a rest already. Okay, I understand. I understand you need to take a rest, but I think, oh, sorry, I haven't shown you the attendance code. I'm so sorry. Let me show you first. Okay, because the live attendance is quite low, for those who view video, please take your attendance. Please take your attendance. That's what I mentioned to you. Actually, we are not going to do anything on you for the attendance, but we just want to put it as a record, as our record only, right? Okay, let me show you the code. Okay. Yeah, you saw it, right? Okay, so this is the link. In your chat box, I also place the link. Please take your attendance accordingly. And then thank you so much for being together with me. Some of you together for 6 hours already. Hopefully you learned something today. Hopefully you have an idea. How are you supposed to prepare for your upcoming exam? And then I'll see you again, right? For Saturday class on 11th of November. Thank you.